Detroit, Windsor, River. Welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today, the third time is the charm. I'll be talking a little bit about Windsor history and a little bit about determination in my park. Okay, so anyways, it's a little bit cold out here today, and we're down at the very foot of Goyo Street in Windsor, Ontario. You can see over my shoulder here, that's the Renaissance Center. It's about a half a mile away across the river. In My camera makes it look a little bit smaller, but it's actually it's pretty big. It's about 750 feet high. And over here, you can see there's these funny little things. They look like they might look like an oil well or something like that. But what that is, here's your history lesson, is that those little guys over there, they're it's actually counterweights. So that back in the old days, a little while ago, a few years back, there used to be train tracks that ran all the way down the river here, and then the trains would get put onto barges to get taken by barge over to Detroit, a little bit further down, more towards the Ambassador Bridge. So that's what these things were for. There's actually ramps there, and the train cars would go on, big heavy train cars, and they would use them to put them on barges and go down there. That's what that is. And then we got the Renaissance Center over here that was made in about, I don't know, around 1973. Don't quote me on that. And right now that's the General Motors World Headquarters. And anyways, that's a little tiny little bit of history. And I'd also like to know, can you guys hear me? And how's the wind noise? Uh, yeah, we'll kind of see. I see some comments in here. So, yeah, Solitude Surfer, where can you snag a pair of gloves like this? These are actually snowmobile gloves that I got up north years ago. So, okay, here we go. Great. See, D Doc is in the house. David Perodin. Audio is very good. Wind is minimal overall. Good. Okay, thanks. That's cool. And yeah, so anyways, it was I was doing a little bit of experimentation yesterday to get this all rigged up, and experimenting in my garage. And like I said, the third time is the charm. So, and I kind of got the fur hat out today, got the long johns on. Everything's cool. So what else can I tell you about Windsor? Okay. Yeah, so Windsor is there's always been people around here, and I kind of addressed this a little bit when I was doing my little motorcycle ride around. That the Ambassador Bridge down there, like, so I said this is about a half a mile away. Down at the Ambassador Bridge down there, that's actually the closest point between the United States and Canada here. And the Indians they traded there for thousands of years, and because if you're going to take your canoe across the river, why take it a half mile when you can go a quarter mile down there? So this is it's kind of a lot of people are kind of messed up when they also see on the map that this camera is actually kind of facing north. The camera itself is facing north, but it's true north. There's true north, magnetic north, all that fun stuff. So Windsor actually kind of tucks in. It's not really actually north. It's like kind of more northeast. Like Detroit would be northeast of Windsor. So okay, and Doc is wondering what's the current temperature where I'm at. Okay, the temperature today, I checked it just a little while ago, and it was, what was it, -6. Oh, this is in Celsius. So -6 with I think it was a -12 wind chill factor. So basically you're looking at, what would that be, about 20 Fahrenheit, something like that. Anyways, it's pretty cold. And we got trucks going by. Yeah, we got boats going by too. Hey, looks like the St. Lawrence Seaway is still open. They actually, those ships will kind of come through here. You can hear them. A lot of times you can hear them going around the corner where the Detroit River takes a little bit of a curve, and they kind of they blast their horn just to let you know, hey, I'm coming around the corner. And sometimes you'll hear them doing that at night. And hey, we got some people in the background. Hi, guys. Yep. So, anyways, yeah, that's like down here at the river, everybody likes to, take a walk, even if it's a little bit cold today. And usually in the summertime, you'll find that there's all kinds of people jogging and riding their bikes and everything. So there we go. You got to see a little bit of some actual boat traffic. Yeah, the Detroit River is part of the St. Lawrence Seaway. So I mean, you could have the ships can come in from the Atlantic Ocean and go all the way through the Great Lakes, all the way out to like like Duluth, Minnesota, or out to would be Thunder Bay would have a pretty big port out there too on Lake Superior. And so this is the okay, a little bit about the river here. It's right now the wind is pretty strong coming this way from the west, but the current actually goes to the east over that way normally. And you can always tell if the wind is really strong from the west if the current reverses. So I can see that the waves are going that way. So it looks like we got some strong wind today. I checked; it's about 15, gusting to 20 knots, and so that's I don't know. Earlier we had a little bit of snow, and I wouldn't want to be flying in that weather. But it's actually getting a little sunny, so it's not too bad. So okay, checking out here in the comments, it's all pretty funny. So yeah. So another thing about the river here is that okay, I talked about the current. I was thinking about talking about the current there. What else was I gonna say? Oh no, I think I forgot. Well, what the heck? Yeah. So, anyways, what else can I tell you? Oh, yeah. Years ago, okay, talking about the St. Lawrence Seaway, it can go. You can take the ships and everything. In the old days, like this Detroit River used to be very, very shallow. It was only, oh, I don't know. It was like it used to freeze solid actually. And I got a helicopter going over here. I guess good enough for helicopters. Yeah, so this used to freeze solid, but now they dredged it out for the big ships. And then so now there's a pretty strong current going down there, and it doesn't freeze solid here. It might freeze out on the lakes, but when it does freeze there, that's when they shut down the shipping for the season. And I guess we're still good for shipping around here. And I remember hearing stories about in the old days, this one old guy, I used to deliver oxygen to him. He had a heart problem, and I worked for this oxygen delivery company. And he was saying that when he was a kid, so this was back when Detroit or when the United States had prohibition. This is like way back. And so we had our whiskey plant here, the Hiram Walker Distillery, and so this would be frozen over, and so guys they'd get their cars and they just load them all up with booze, and they'd hightail it across the frozen river. He said they used to use what they called a whiskey six, is what they call it. So it was a big, it was a great big convertible, so they could just stack it, as high as they wanted with all their booze. And then he said it was fun when he lived out on the West End, and he said when he was a kid, you can hear him. And the whiskey sixes, they had very narrow wooden wheels, so he said they go crashing right through all the ice, and the ice would be flying all over the place. And so, well, no more whiskey sixes going across here anymore. And yeah, so there we go. Oh, look at this. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on in the chat here today. Okay, so that was my little chat that I wanted to say about that. And just like, I don't know, you can talk about history as much as you want here, but I also wanted to talk today a little bit about determination. So yeah, so you guys can see on the previous videos here, I gave it one shot, that messed up. I gave it another shot to do this type of thing, that messed up. So I was kind of like, like typical pilot fashion. It's like, I didn't do the great landing, and you go home and beat yourself up about it. So of course I went and beat myself up about, oh, I couldn't do that live stream. I got all I got all pissed off, and I was like, that's it. No matter what, I don't care. I'm gonna get this done. And so I got kind of pissed off, and I was like, that's it. I'll do it Sunday. I don't care. I'm gonna study up. I'm gonna figure out how to do this on Saturday, and I'm doing it Sunday extra just because that way it won't be sitting on my mind that I screwed it up, right? So, anyways, yeah. So, yeah, I was kind of. So this is the determination thing, and then I just kind of thought of this today, almost just before driving down here, about a story of I attended. I don't even know. I might have said this story on the live stream before, but I did this. I attended a graduation ceremony, not at my high school, but someone else's high school. And there was the keynote speaker there was a pretty famous basketball coach here in Windsor, Jerry Brumpton. He passed away a few years ago, and he was. But I'll always remember his very inspirational story that he told. So Jerry Brumpton, Coach Brumpton, as they called him, he was at the. He was talking about how one of his basketball players was doing great, and he was in line to get a scholarship over at the University of Michigan, just over the river here and up the road. So I forget exactly what happened. That the coach drove him up there, and the whole thing was that to get the scholarship, you had to do a 2-on-2 basketball game. So he was with some other guy, and I guess I don't know. The guy was, I forget whether he was sick or he was someone in his family died. He wasn't doing, he wasn't 100%, but he was a really great basketball player. So he went there and just bombed, just absolutely terribly. And then so when he came back, Coach Brumpton called up the coach over at the University of, or was it Michigan State? Michigan State. And so he said, "Hey, give this guy another shot. He's really good. He was just off that day, and you're going to really, you'll appreciate it having him." So he went over there, gave him about a week. The guy said, "Okay, let him heal up, get his stuff together. See you in a week." And then so Coach Brumpton drives him back over to Michigan State, and so the kid's there, and he's kind of nervous, and he was, and then he finds out, "Hey, okay, you're going to be playing 2-on-2 basketball with this guy." And who was his partner? Magic Johnson. So they looked absolutely fantastic, and both of them got their scholarships. So when Coach Brumpton was talking about this, it was like, wow, that's cool. Yeah, when Coach Brumpton was talking about this, it was like, wow, that's cool. Now, Coach Brumpton was also a physics teacher, so he gave this little formula for people to listen to, and I wish I could write it down here. I don't have a whiteboard around, but I got some cardboard on the road, baby. Here we go. Okay, so here's Coach Brumpton's official secret, the secret formula for success. And it worked for this other guy that got the scholarship. Here we go. I wonder if you can hear this. I'm not sure. All right. So here we go. We got P plus E equals S. And so I'm going to put my glove back on here. It's pretty cold. P plus E equals S. So that was Coach Brumpton's little parting, parting gift to everyone that was there, so they can take that with them for the rest of their life. So the P stands for preparedness. So it's like this guy that got the scholarship the first time around, he wasn't really prepared enough. He wasn't 100%. E stands for enthusiasm. So the guy was enthusiastic, and so what happened was the guy that got the scholarship, he got more prepared. He was enthusiastic. My nose is running here, and he was successful. So I was kind of thinking about that today when I was coming in here to do my little live stream, that was P plus E equals S. So P, prepared. Now, before, I wasn't exactly prepared. As of yesterday, I knew I was prepared. And enthusiasm, I'm always enthusiastic to see you guys. So I think today's been pretty successful. Hey, there we go. And shout out to Coach Brumpton. Okay, I got this whole funny rig set up on the back of my car, and yeah, I put the cardboard under here so it wouldn't blow away. Okay, so that's about it for the live stream today. I'm glad you guys showed up, but I'll answer some questions here. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Ooh, take off the old. I'm gonna scroll back here. All right. Hopefully you're not looking at my nose at a bunch of boogers or something. That'd be embarrassing. Who cares? It's cold. Your nose runs. All right. What do we got here? Yep, down south in Windsor. Yes, I am. Yeah, the JLM, the hydroplane boat races. That's a little bit further down there at Belle Isle. And yeah, those things make a lot of noise. And okay, here we go. April of the North is here, and April is can't believe I'm outside. Well, that was another thing about my preparedness is that make sure you dress warm. And okay, my live stream setup. Okay, so I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here for my live stream setup. Yeah, so what I got is, and now this is kind of what I got my old ancient phone. The old ancient Galaxy S5. Okay, it's pretty. I bought it like 5 years ago. I never really use it, and so I got that. Now that is tethered to my laptop, so I got data coming through this from the cell network, and then that's tethered to my laptop. Now, what I screwed up on before was I set up a Wi-Fi hotspot between the two. And that was like really weird and trouble. You know, I haven't really connected that way before too much. So it was like I was all nervous, you know, before getting on doing the show on Friday, and I was like, I'm gonna be late. Yeah. So that led to a cascading effect of I'm not checking my battery. I'm running out of juice, you know. And so, anyways, so I got that hooked up to my laptop. I got my awesome microphone over here. Yeah, I was going to kind of show you guys that too. I did it a little bit the other day. So I got my I got my mic muff on here. It's the girlfriend's toot over top of the fuzzy mitten that Vanessa Kitty suggested. And how did I have that? Okay. And so I'll kind of show you this here too. This was the regular, like this is just a board I had. I stuck a bolt through. Oh, it's probably loud for you now. There's a little bolt. And yeah, so yeah, so that's cutting the wind noise, and yeah, and that's I got like a little bolt here with some washers for a spacer, and this is a little lock nut on there that usually it usually is on the like the what would you call it, the arm that whatever, the mic arm, that's like that, and this is still your little bouncy little cradle there. And so I got that. I also have my laptop is now plugged in to I have in the back of my car I have a it's like a 120 volt accessory plug. So it's plugged into the car's running, so there's my gas generator. So I'm charging this all up, and I got my cameras set up here. That's a USB camera there. So that's the whole setup there. And what do we got here? Okay, just checking out some other things. People are remembering the good old days back in Detroit. That's cool. And it's a circuit board. Yeah, it's yeah. So if you there we go. Oh, have I paramotored? Okay. No, I haven't paramotored. It looks extremely dangerous. You know. Yeah, so every once in a while I get people asking me about the paramotoring. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a backpack with a big propeller on you, and you're kind of sitting on this backpack thing, and you fire up the propeller, and you got a parachute behind you, and that gives you some lift, so you get going faster, and up you go. So paramotoring, I see these guys doing all this crazy stuff on the internet, and like they're just asking to get hung up in the wires and kill themselves. Like it's, I would say, my advice to anybody that does want to do that, I personally wouldn't want to do that. It just, I don't know, it just looks a little too rinky dink for me. But yeah, the anyone that I suggest to anybody that does want to get into paramotoring, make sure you have a decent, some good, decent instruction to tell you to stay away from, maybe so you can identify certain airspaces and stay away from the fast going guys like us pilots flying around. And yeah, and watch out for like, you never know. There's certain places around that are restricted airspace, and you don't want to be going in there and getting in trouble. And I might do I was thinking about doing another show about restricted airspace. That might be coming up. But so for paramotoring, never done it. Looks a little too dangerous for me. I'd spend the extra cash and be a little safer myself. But hey, YOLO, man. What else we got here? Okay, and Safety Doc's always wondering about the gear here. So what setting do I have for my Yeti? It's set up as cardioid. Yeah, so cardioid. So what that means is it's, you'll see it on the setting of the actually, maybe I could probably show you that. It's okay, might get windy, I don't know. What do we got? Let's see if you can see that. Whoop. I don't know. Can you see that? Right here. I don't know. It's kind of, I got the sun in my eyes here, but yeah, generally what that is. Yeah, cardioid makes it so you don't, it doesn't actually. Oh man, the old nose is running. Good thing I brought some Kleenex with me. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Hang on.